time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, talks like a spaz, and he'll have to talk about Bigfoot and stacks. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Yeah, hello and welcome. It is the Wednesday KVJ show. Crazy times. We are without the bird today. If you missed yesterday's show and then the after the show podcast, that's why you got to listen all the way through the show. You got to listen to the after the show podcast because you're not complete with your KVJ until you get through all of it. And it was right at the end of the after the show podcast yesterday, we found out Jaybird had done a test and he found out that he does have the COVID. So that all came together yesterday.
Hey.
I know, right?
And I came in here this morning, and, I go in my little drawer and get my headphones and put them on, and I can always tell when somebody's borrowed my headphones.
Oh, jeez.
Because they're super, stretched out on a different setting where I have them. I don't have a big, huge melon head. Mm-hmm. So when I wear them, they're on the smallest setting, and then I put them in the drawer.
Right.
But I went to go get them this morning, and look at that. They're on the biggest setting.
Okay. So you didn't do that.
Should you really be sharing headphones with any group of people where one of them just got COVID?
No, I mean, you just honestly, anytime, I'm not a big fan of that. It's just kind of a personal thing. It's like, hey, can I borrow your toothbrush? No. You can't borrow my toothbrush. Can I borrow your headphones?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of gamey. I get it.
Can I share a Q-tip with you?
Yeah, no.
No.
Hey, that dental floss. You mind if I borrow that? I know you just used it, but nah, there's just some things you just don't share. So
all of us behind the scenes are kind of like looking at each other going, how do you feel? I feel good. How do you feel? Good. All right.
Yeah.
So far
we're all so good. So, we'll see what is going on here.
It's kind of a head game, though.
It is. It is. Yeah.
I canceled everything I was supposed to do yesterday.
Okay.
I was supposed to go meet a girlfriend and go for a walk and exercise. And I was just like, I was supposed to go to a HOA meeting. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm looking for anything to get out of that.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to be spreading the COVID around HOA meetings.
Oh, my
There's
gosh.
hardly anybody under the age of 70 in there.
Well, the average age on my HOA is 92.
Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah.
I stayed home. Even though they're mean to me, I'm choosing to be nice to them.
Oh, well, that is very lovely if you do that. Very lovely. Yeah, so that's kind of where we are with Jaybird. So he'll be out for a while. We just hope that, some people don't get it as badly as others, and we'll see. It sounded like yesterday he was bad with the fever of 102, and he sounded like he was going through it. Yeah.
And the body aches are the worst. He said it's just nothing he's experienced with those chills and body aches.
Yeah, it sounded like he was really going through it. So we wish him the best and a speedy recovery. So until then, we were down a bird, but we got everybody else here with you today.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, because we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, this is kind of funny. So Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell, they have kids, and they're now talking candidly about how they used to bathe the kids every night before bed.
Yeah.
But then somehow they just got out of their routine and stopped caring. And then now Kristen Bell says, I'm a big fan of just waiting for them to stink.
I let them get a little gamey first.
And then she washes them. Which I got to admit, sometimes that happens in our house too with Rocco, especially in the summertime. I mean, he's not going anywhere. He stays in the house. And he's not going to school. He doesn't have to be necessarily hair combed and manicured. And so he kind of just runs loose.
Well, there's kind of been that movement in that direction anyway, saying that maybe, under our, bearings, we're bathing ourselves too much because you're taking all the good oils from, your body. And so maybe we in Western society do bathe too much.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows who's doing it right? But they're talking candidly about it, and it's fascinating. I guess Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, they said the same thing. They only bathe their kids if there's visible dirt on them. So there you go. Don't feel bad, parents. If you're like me and your kid goes a few days without a bath and you realize and go, oh, you need a bath, it's okay. Don't stress yourself out. Seth Rogen had to respond to a super funny TikTok question. People on social media were asking if he was alive. They were questioning whether or not Seth Rogen had been kidnapped or died.
What?
So he had to go on Twitter and TikTok and let everybody know that he was indeed alive.
Okay.
It's just kind of funny that you had to do that. And Selena Gomez talking a little bit about her transplant.
Well, this is a clip from the show that is kind of talking about her transplant. There's a TV show that's in a little bit of hot water, and they actually are in a little bit of hot water because they were joking about what it would take to get canceled. And they were talking about things that, for instance, they couldn't joke about. And so this is this TV show, The Good Fight, from Paramount Plus. And they were saying, yeah, we can't talk about Selena Gomez's kidney transplant. And here's the clip from the show.
Okay.
Is there anything we can't do?
Necrophilia?
No, that could be funny.
Autism.
Selena Gomez's kidney transplant.
Hey, put one in just to throw everybody off.
All right.
One that's so inappropriate even you wouldn't joke about
Wait,
it.
do you think we could get canceled for even joking about being canceled?
Oh, yeah.
And then this is the case where Selena Gomez's fans went apparently crazy, and now they're trying to get him canceled for joking about can they get canceled.
The backlash is real.
That's it. There you go.
And that's what's going on in your dirt.
It's time for viral audio.
So hide your kids, hide your wife.
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, taking a look at the Olympics, the U.S. is still in the medal lead with 76. Got 25 gold, but the Chinese have 32. They only have 69 overall medals. I don't know if you saw that, but Simone Biles, she wound up winning bronze on the balance beam.
Yes, we knew about this yesterday and reported on it. But then if you were watching the TV last night was
Right.
when people finally were able to see it because of the time change.
Yeah, and part of what was cool that you may not have seen until last night was Simone Biles talking about, because, usually for her, she's winning gold. So you're like, bronze, do you still think bronze is cool? Where does this rank in all of your medals?
I was thinking about that bronze medal, and I wondered, does it mean more than the others?
Yes, it means more than all of the golds because I've pushed through so much the last 5 years, and the last week while I've even been here, it was very emotional, and I'm just proud of myself. I didn't really care about the outcome. I was just happy that I made the routine and then I got to compete one more time.
So why the beam?
Because I didn't have to twist or do anything, so it was very much at a less risk, especially if I could do a different beam dismount.
What do you think the biggest misconception was about your decision?
That I was at no risk and mental health isn't a serious issue. That it was basically a cop-out. But the girls saw me in training, my coaches saw me in training, I physically couldn't do it safely. And it's because I was getting so lost in the air.
Okay, so there you go. A little bit more of an explanation from her own mouth about the twisties they were talking about. And if you hang in the equestrian circles in Wellington, I'm sure you know Bruce Springsteen's daughter, Jessica. She's been out there riding for years. She was trying to get into the Olympics, but unfortunately failed to qualify for the equestrian individual jumping finals.
And the rider that's certainly gotten the most attention, 29-year-old Jessica Springsteen. And we are almost certainly in a position in this competition where Jessie will need to jump clear with no time penalties likely in order to advance to the individual final. Oh, a rail goes down.
Tip. Barely hit it.
Just ticked the rail. Disappointment for Jessica Springsteen and Don Juan. The rail goes down, 4 penalty points, quite likely to keep them out of the final.
Okay, but she's going to be riding again on Friday night as part of Team USA's entry into the team jumping event. So,
Okay.
there you go. So that's what's going on with the Olympics.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
Well, the bird is out today. He took a test late yesterday for COVID, and the test said that he was positive. So he had a fever over 102 and said he had nasty chills and aches, and he did not feel good at all yesterday.
Yeah, he was like, I can't believe how bad these chills and body aches are and just yuck.
Yeah. So he's getting in it, and it's just crazy. I mean, this new Delta variant, it's really pretty insane just to kind of sit back and witness and watch what's going on. A lot of it in the stories that I hear, it almost feels like it's a different thing than the first wave of COVID. I mean, the symptoms and what people are saying and how easy it is to transmit from person to person. It's just, wow. I mean, we thought just 3 weeks ago, we were down to like just over 1,000, 2,000 cases, something like that. You go, okay, this thing's pretty much over with. And then kabam, it just came back with a fury. Florida, which represents about 6.5% of the U.S. population, is now accounting for about 19.2% of the country's new cases. So it is definitely hot around here. Miami-Dade, Broward are leading, but Palm Beach has got a lot as well. And they say Florida broke its COVID hospitalization record for the second day in a row with 11,863 people now hospitalized for COVID. So we hope that Bird doesn't get to that level.
No, my girlfriend just got out of the hospital. I found out she was there for almost a week.
Jeez. Yeah.
From COVID. And she's younger than us and way healthier than me.
Well, one of my friends, his wife, she got COVID the first time, healed and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And then got the Delta variant when had to go to the hospital for it.
Damn.
And she already had COVID once and didn't have to go to the hospital.
Yeah, it's kind of turning upside down a lot of the things that you thought you knew or believed about COVID. So yeah, definitely taking a different eye with this one. They say people are getting sicker faster with the Delta variant than in previous waves, and it's also putting many young people into the hospital. So that's what's different as well, is that it's impacting the youth. It used to be on the first wave. Remember, it was like, okay, if you're
absolutely
over a certain age, or if you've got diabetes, these are the problems. Now it just seems like this one is like, oh yeah, rolled up its sleeves, came back. So yeah, that's where we are. So every day, just trying to learn and stay on it and figure this whole thing out and stay healthy. So yeah, Bird, we wish the best for him, and hopefully one of these days he'll be out at least the studio, I think, through probably next week, I think. And so at least maybe we can get him plugged in.
Yeah,
I think you got to do like
he feels better.
10 days, they said.
Yeah.
You got to be out of the building, but then he could probably be on the computer and with the little microphone set up before then.
Absolutely.
So we, one, focus on getting better, and then two, we'll try to worry about plugging them in. So, all right, so what do we got on our mind here today? There's a lot of stuff still going on with Lollapalooza. You have these big festivals in all these different parts of the country. Maybe you saw the videos from over the weekend of all the performances that were going on. Miley Cyrus was there. Saw a little bit of the video performance that she had. And one person you didn't see was DaBaby. He's getting canceled everywhere. So that guy is not going to be doing any shows, I don't think, for a while. He had a couple more cancel on him.
They put DaBaby in the corner.
Yeah, DaBaby back in the crib. So that's about it. But I did see something. It's kind of a Genius Concert Festival hack. Now, this would be at a place that needs to have grass and you can get access to any other time. But somebody on TikTok had shown that a week before Lollapalooza, they went out because they do it in Grant Park out there, and there's grass and the fountains and all that kind of stuff. And so they picked a designated spot that they knew, and they buried a bottle of vodka. And then they showed when they were inside the grounds, they unburied the bottle of vodka. I'm like, hey, what do you know? Free booze. And I'm like, that's kind of smart.
Wow, that's kind of genius.
Kind of genius. And, we got our Tortugas and this and that, where it's like, all right, maybe something to think about. Before they put up the festival gates.
Sunfest.
Yeah, you go and bury your booze. And then when you go in, you're like, hey, what do you know? Bottle of vodka.
I mean, there'd be a lot of places you could bury something along the waterfront, just saying.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt, yeah.
Under
my buddy,
a dock.
as a hack, they make those for motorcyclists. It's like a backpack that stores liquid, and then it has a straw that comes out of your collar.
Okay. Yeah.
He used to take the shell off it to protect it in case you get in a motorcycle wreck or whatever. And it was just basically a giant bag, a bladder. He'd put it on under his shirt. That way he could get into concerts and stuff, and he could just drink right from it.
Yeah.
That was his hack of doing
There's
it.
a lot of stuff, when you're trying to smuggle booze in. It seems like everybody's really hip to those fake sunscreen bottles now.
Yeah, they know about the fake sunscreen and the fake bracelet.
Yeah, right.
You can't do those anymore.
That's too out there. So this is kind of the new way to come back to try to get booze. You go in ahead of time, any festival, bury it and then unbury it when you get in there. So,
I mean, that's such a good idea.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. What you got on your mind today, Virginia?
Well, we're looking to put this Bahamas trip together, and I think it's probably going to happen in the next few weeks for us to check in on all of the construction that we helped fund over there in the Bahamas and the school that we helped put the new kitchen, put the new ceiling, put the new roof.
Right, all part of the Great 48. We raised $200,000 with our audience for that.
Yes, we did. And so I just wanted to get everybody up to speed. There's talks of going back over there. If any of you want to come and be a part of the team, you do have to be vaccinated, though, to go to the Bahamas. And if you're not vaccinated, you have to get a COVID test.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it seems to be the norm. All right. What's on your mind today, Denny's?
I don't know if you guys, I don't know how much of the weather, I know, Kevin, you probably got it, but yesterday was a heck of a storm out of nowhere. I was sitting in my house and I heard the wind kicking up, so I had to look.
Fierce last night I was going to bed, yeah.
Well, so I guess it just made me, I was looking outside my window, and during the height of the storm, I seen all these ducks come together, and they kind of just get in a group.
Duck Club.
And they just stand there. The wind was going crazy. The rain was going crazy. They just huddle in a group, and they face the wind, and they just stick their heads up, and they stand there. They did it the entire storm. I couldn't believe it. That's why I'm bringing this up.
Huh.
But there has to be a better way to deal with a storm, right? I mean, ducks are clearly designed to handle storms, and especially growing up in Florida.
Everybody knows ducks are dumb.
They are dumb, but I mean, animals in general, squirrels, all of them, they have to have some sort of protocol when these giant storms come in. And I just thought it was odd that that was their protocol.
Seek shelter, ducks.
Every other animal you think seeks shelter, right?
You know, the squirrel got it down pat. He seeks shelter every time.
So I was just wondering why ducks get together and just kind of like penguins do. They just get into a little huddle and they just stand it was in the middle of my yard. There was no protection from anything. And they just stood there and faced the winds.
Maybe that's where the phrase sitting duck comes from.
It must be, but.
Yeah, I bet that did come from somewhere.
It had to
sitting
be.
duck. Go hide.
They don't hide. They just stand there in danger.
I would get up in a bush next to a house. Get like a wall.
Well, so also just comparing it to when I was living in Colorado, you would occasionally see a pile of snow during the winter start shuffling or shifting, and you see the snow coming off, and you look, and about 6 or 7 deers would just get up. And so during snowstorms, deers just lie down in a group, and they let the snow cover them, and then they get up when it's done. It's so weird.
That's crazy.
I can't believe there's not a better system for. And I know animals, they clearly got it down pat, but.
Well, I mean, they survived all these,
That's what I'm saying. So how? How in these
thousands of years doing what they've been doing? So, is it, and what other options do they have?
I mean, during a hurricane, that has to destroy the duck population, right?
You would think.
Do they just reproduce in such volumes?
That's a great question.
So
how many ducks go down?
Do ducks watch the news and they know that it's not that bad of a storm? So, hey, let's go look at it.
I guess it just caught me off guard that they just don't have a better system for this. That's what the ducks landed on.
Yeah, I just don't know what other options they got.
Because it was a heck of a wind. I mean, the winds got up to, I don't know about you guys, but it got it got decent enough to where it caught my attention. I had to look outside.
Me too.
Well, we start getting these storms that almost looks like you've got a hurricane going on. It kind of like makes you appreciate, how bad it can get.
Oh, and shelter.
Yeah.
Being inside.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Just weird. I don't know if somebody can answer that question.
Yeah, what the ducks do, is that their thing, their strategy?
And would they come inside if you invited them in?
Out of the porch.
Yeah, they probably would.
It has to be safer.
Why didn't they go on the porch?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Tell me if this sounds good to you. You buying or selling corn ribs? This is one of the latest TikTok food trends that are out there.
I love it already.
Now, to show you what happens in the video, somebody takes an ear of corn and they cut it down the middle and then they quarter it. So they cut it twice so that you've got 4 slabs of corn.
Okay.
Lengthwise. Then you put together a little bit of a mixture with like butter and some, different spices and things like that and season it. Then you toss them in either the oven or they had, in the video I saw, an air fryer, and you cook them all up. And then when they come out, the corn will kind of curl like ribs will. That's why they call them corn ribs. And then you eat it that way. They say they're seasoned, they're delicious. It's a great way to cook them, and they're a lot more fun that way.
Huh.
What do you think about corn ribs?
I would totally do corn ribs. Those sound delicious.
Yeah, I think it'd be something different because people would be like, what is that? You'd be like, that's corn. You're like, what? I've never seen corn served like that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, thought that might be kind of cool. The other TikTok food trend that is going on right now that's big is called frozen honey. What you do is you grab the smallest plastic bottle you can find and then you fill it with honey. They say then toss it in the freezer, wait a few hours. Once it's frozen, you take it out, let it thaw just a little bit. And if you time it right, you end up with cold, squeezable honey that's chewy.
Huh.
So that's what it is if you want to eat just straight honey, but just keep in mind that it is pretty sweet and it's very high in calories.
But it's so yummy.
So yummy.
Huh.
Yeah, what do you think about frozen honey?
I would do that as well.
You do that as well?
Yeah.
Okay, you're buying everything today, Virginia.
I am.
Okay, you buying or selling this? Marble Slab Creamery has partnered up with Frito-Lay to create Cheetos Flamin' Hot ice cream and also the Cheetos Flamin' Hot shake.
I don't know about that one.
Do you think Cheetos Flamin' Hot would work in ice cream?
Not for me personally. It's a little too busy.
Okay.
I love Cheetos. I don't really care for the Flamin' Hot ones.
Yeah, I don't know if I like, and I get it. I guess they're trying spice with sweet, and maybe some people like a little bit of fire with their cream.
This feels like a young person's snack.
Yeah, I don't know if I would like it. Plus, the other thing that I'm wondering is, you know, it's in moisture, the Cheetos. And Cheetos with moisture, I don't know. I don't like my Cheetos soggy.
Yeah.
So what are those like bits of Cheeto like? I mean, you can't keep it hard in ice cream, can you?
You cannot.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would try it, but I'm not feeling that one. I don't think that one's going to work. So we'll see. But there's a couple things that TikTok is doing that you can try out if you always like trying some new food stuff. Today, there's a couple of things going on food-wise. If you love chocolate chips and chocolate chip cookies, today's your day. It's National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day today, Virginia.
Oh, look at that.
And it's also National White Wine Day.
They go great together.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Cookies and wine. So if you like either of those, you can go and celebrate. Somebody's letting us know about another TikTok food hack that they've got on there called Cajun firecrackers. I don't know if you've heard about these, Virginia.
No, what's that about?
The Cajun firecrackers is, in the photo I see, it looks like they've taken Ritz, which to me, that's the gourmet of the cracker. But they say you could take basically a box of saltine crackers, you take some red pepper flakes, a little cayenne pepper, and some dry ranch dressing mix, and you kind of season it all together. And apparently they make a very seasoned, spicy, kick-butt cracker.
Huh.
Yeah.
It sounds like a low-budget seasoned chip.
Kind of does. Kind of like a do-it-yourself.
Make your own.
Right. But, yeah, Cajun firecrackers is another TikTok food hack that they like. I'm noticing a lot of these things are not keto-friendly.
No.
But I've talked to so many people that have lost weight on keto, and I think that's what the draw is. And I remember when I first got on it, I had my trainer, his brother was a dietitian, and he was telling me all about it. And they had done the keto, and I tried it for like a couple weeks. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. I feel good, and I lost a little bit of weight. Well, the dietitian, he lived on it. He's like, I just always do keto. I'm like, you can do that? Because the concept with keto, if you don't know, is you pretty much stay away from sugars and a lot of the refined carbohydrates, your wheat flour and all that kind of stuff. Bagels are not your friend and whatnot. And so I just kind of started doing it more and more. And I was like, okay, I feel all right. Everything's pretty good. But now, as more and more people are getting on keto, it's becoming a little bit more attacked. Some researchers are saying that it is a disease-promoting disaster.
Oh, no.
The lead author of this study says that loading up on red meat, processed meat, and saturated fat while restricting carbohydrate-rich vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains is a recipe for bad health. So the one thing that I've heard for the most part is the Mediterranean diet is the way to go, and you got a little bit of that. And so I would recommend what I kind of do is I do a little bit of keto light.
Right.
It's kind of the concepts, but I think you got to realize that when you're eating a ton of red meat or processed meat
or
you're
fat.
Yes, saturated fat.
You're not doing that.
Right, no. I'm trying to stay away from that. So I think that's the one thing, because some people get on these diets and they're going, I'm going to do nothing but eat bacon. and bologna all day long.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
But
you got to keep in mind that you do need a little bit of balance. And I think that that's, the one thing that they're saying is you got to keep it balanced out a little bit and have some stuff. And the key is the whole grains. So doing that instead of doing your white processed like Wonder Bread and the such. So, yeah, just something to look out for. So keto is kind of getting slammed if you're one of those people that's doing it. Now, what do you do? What is your concept? Virginia needs to lose some weight. I know you do the squeezed juices.
I do.
But
I love those.
What do you do food-wise that if you've got to shed 5 or 10 pounds for something that's coming up, what is your strategy?
I mean, I would do, and this is what they've told me, because I had my blood work. I had all that DNA blood work done where they look exactly at your DNA and tell you exactly what you should be eating. And they told me actually keto wouldn't be good for me because I don't process fats as fast as maybe, like, say, you probably do.
Right.
They told me I should stick to fish, white meat, very sporadically do red meat because red meat's not really good for me and my DNA either, they came back with. But I should be doing like a lot of vegetables. I should be doing like a lot of like beans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And not a lot of carbs and definitely not a lot of sugar because I have all these pre-diabetic markers.
Right.
So, yeah, it's pretty intense when you look at the list of all the stuff you're not supposed to do. It's all the fun stuff, and it's all the stuff I like.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way it goes, isn't it? I know. I love, I'm like Bird, though. I love carbs and all that kind of stuff, and I love sugar, but those seem to be the two worst things for me. And, one good point somebody saying in the chat room is I think you got to try different stuff because I also went vegan. I went all plant-based for a couple weeks as well, and I actually bloated up and got lethargic. I just didn't feel right, and so that was kind of a weird thing where I'm like, I just don't think I can stick with this one.
That's a big thing, to listen to your body.
Yeah.
Look at your skin.
Right.
Look at how you feel. Are your fingers bloated and are your ankles feeling weird and bloated? Like, your body will tell you and help you. You just have to like calm your mind and actually listen to your body, which is very hard to do if you've got voices like
Right. No, absolutely. That's the one thing is try to find something that works specifically for you. Somebody texted in and said, can you tell us again the keto meals that you're doing that are prepared to show up your door? Yeah, I do Ideal Nutrition. IdealNutritionNow.com. You can go there, and they're only $7, and they have a whole keto menu. And you know what? The thing that they do, a lot of it is lean meats, and they throw in a lot of vegetables. So
and it's not just keto too.
Yeah.
Like they have other stuff too.
Yeah.
And it makes it super easy. That's what I love about the squeezed juice. It's not like you have to prep anything.
Right.
You're not in your kitchen cutting food and cooking food and all that stuff it's time consuming, and then it stands in the way of you being able to be consistent.
Yeah. Shows up right there, easy to do. So you can go online and get those $7 a meal, about 500 calories each. So that's an easy way. That's how I'm, losing the weight and keeping it off is doing that. Well, Bird is not with us today. Yesterday, he took a COVID test and he tested positive. So he is pretty much the last man standing. I know I had it. Virginia, you had it. Denny's in Suits had it. Yeah,
Denny's did not.
Did not have it, but he got the vaccine.
He's double vaxxed.
Yeah. So Bird is out for now, and we'll just keep an eye on him, see how he's doing. I haven't heard from him since yesterday. The last text I got was he's like, hey, man, how long does this last? What am I going through? He's like, I'm really in it right now. And I hate to tell him, like, man, what you got, this Delta variant, it's different than when I had COVID. I had COVID almost a year ago, and it just doesn't seem like the same thing. So I don't know what to tell you, man. I hope that you shake it fast, but I don't know. What do you say to one of your friends that's got COVID and they got it bad?
Yeah, he texted me and said that this thing is rough. It looks like I'll be out for a while. This totally sucks. He says the worst part is the body aches and zero energy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, when I got the regular, it knocked me out for a day, and I had that headache that was pretty bad. But mine was about a 24-hour thing. And
yeah.
He was feeling it this time yesterday, so he's still riding it out. So
Everybody pray for our little Jaybird.
Yeah.
I'll go drop back off some more goodies on his doorstep today. Rachel from Vero, who always gives him a hard time, actually went on Walmart.com yesterday and sent him a bunch of groceries. So I dropped him off, and then I'm going to go bring him more Gatorade and all that kind of stuff to make sure he's
that's cool.
hydrating.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, I know at least for me, I think that, we all started to get lax. I mean, because we were allowed to.
Yeah, and we thought, oh man, COVID's coming to an end.
Right.
Wait a minute, third wave? What?
Yeah, if anything, Jaybird getting sick is kind of a wake-up call to rethink, okay, we need to go back to a lot of those policies and, maybe rethink what is best for you and making your own decisions.
I can't believe how many people around me just this week, I'm finding out, got really, really sick. Somebody that I went to brunch with on Sunday. Jaybird that I sit next to on Monday.
Right.
My good girlfriend who's an esthetician was hospitalized.
Jeez.
She's young and super healthy. It's like, I feel like it's all around me.
Yeah, no, I mean, the numbers kind of do say that. So it is out there. So just definitely something to keep in mind and make the right choices for whatever it is for you to do. But be mindful of it because people are coming down with it like crazy. Well, a lot of people sending their best to the bird who is down and out with the COVID, tested positive yesterday for it, and he's just trying to get through it. This new Delta variant is something different. He had the chills and body aches and temperature over 102. So that's kind of what he was going through with his symptoms. I think he said his throat was sore too.
Yeah. And he said like zero energy. Like it just depleted all the life out of him.
Yeah. And the thing that is, tough for a lot of people is just how long it takes.
Right.
It's, isn't necessarily a 24 or 48 hour bug. I know some people are going on 2-3 weeks, sometimes longer, to really shake off everything that you get with it. So,
terrible.
Yeah, some people who have had it recently had said a couple things they did. Vitamin B, C, D, and zinc will help tame the symptoms. So I know I am cranking all of those things nonstop, and I have been I was before the pandemic, but I definitely upped the dosage.
Sure.
So, I don't play with that kind of stuff. So that's good to just always be cranking. And Lisa said the only thing that helped her during her COVID was Tylenol, Dayquil, and NyQuil. So a little combo of those. So maybe everything's different, but I assume when you feel that way, you're wanting to try anything you can.
Yeah, and I mean, it can't hurt to try everything either. Right. We don't know for sure what's going to hit on individual people.
Sure.
Some people react to one thing, some people react to another. So if I caught it again, I'd be taking everything they put in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, why not? And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, then try something else.
Right.
Okay. Got some celebrity birthdays here. Couple of ones to give a big old shout out to today. Happy birthday to Cole and Dylan Sprouse. If you, what was that show, Riverdale? Or if you remember Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, if you had kids back in the day.
Yes.
You definitely remember them. They were also in that movie Big Daddy with Adam Sandler way back in the day when they were real little. They're now 29 years old.
Oh
Dang.
my.
I know, right? They're almost 30.
I can see the cover of the Big Daddy movie.
Yeah.
And they're like...
They're like 8.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, it was like 21 years ago.
Little nuggets.
Dang.
21 years ago?
Probably, yeah. I'd say they're probably about 8. I'm just guessing. But
wow.
Meghan Markle is 40 years old today. Barack Obama turned 60, and Billy Bob Thornton turned 66 today. If you got a birthday and you want to shout out here on the KVJ Show, just let us know. Mail at kvjshow.com, mail at kvjshow.com. Got more Camp KVJ going to be coming up for you all this week. So if you want to get that hookup, you can do it.
But it's the last week.
Yeah, it is.
The school starts next week, kids.
Yeah. It's really kind of interesting. Do you know why they wound up staggering the way that they did? Because, when I look at who's doing school and when, you got Palm Beach County that begins on Tuesday. Broward goes back on August 18th, and Miami-Dade goes back on August 23rd.
Huh.
How'd everything get so screwy and staggered?
They waited a whole couple weeks after Palm Beach County.
Right.
Huh.
So why did it shake out that way, I wonder?
I guess it was just in the calendar. They have to get a certain amount of days in to keep their funding. So depending on how many days they took because of COVID.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, did she overreact or was her reaction actually right on? This would be kind of a tricky thing to deal with. Got an email from this woman who's 8 months pregnant, and she said, I like to go for a long walk each day. And when I was out walking the other day, I had my AirPods in. When this white van slowly creeps up beside me.
Oh, everybody knows. This is how every Dateline special starts.
Right. So this guy rolls down his window and he says, hey, didn't I see you walking on, and he names this other street. And I just said, well, maybe. I walk several places. He then asks me where I live. And I said, well, I'm in the area, and I just put my AirPods back in and kind of tried to keep going. But the guy kept trying to talk to me, but I ignored him. He made me very uncomfortable. Now, maybe the guy was just trying to be nice, but I didn't leave it to chance. When he pulled away, I called the police and I told them what had happened, and I gave them a description of the van and the license plate and told them that if they didn't hear back from me to know that something had happened to me. Now, the dispatcher was very nice and patient with me and agreed, and when I got home, I called them to let them know I was home safely, but my husband overheard the conversation and thought that maybe I hadn't handled this in the best way. He asked, what are you going to do, call the police every single time a strange man tries to talk to you while you're out walking? He just doesn't get that uncomfortable feeling that women can't shake. So did I handle this the right way, or did I maybe overreact a bit?
I think if your heart told you to do that you absolutely handled it the right way. You're a pregnant woman. You are in charge of protecting this life you're growing inside of you. You cannot be too cautious with that. And that's why we have 911. People call in suspicious people all the time. This guy was suspicious.
Yeah.
I think her husband needs to stand down.
Well, I think it is tough for, and this is the one thing, trust me, I've learned this, fellas. Don't tell a woman ever how to feel, and err on the side of empathy and try to say, hey, look, things are different for women than it is for guys. They just feel differently. You can't relate to it. I think women also have a sense that a lot of guys don't. My wife she always talks about, I got a feeling about this. I got a feeling about that. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't even notice these things. But
I don't have feelings.
Right. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I am so impervious to all this stuff and it doesn't matter to me. But emotions and things like that, women have a definite heightened radar when it comes to all those things, and they pick up on things. And if you're getting weird vibes from a guy, and just also too, guys, if you see a woman that is walking alone and she's 8 months pregnant, so my guess is you probably could detect.
You're big. You're showing.
Yeah, so you rolling up, and especially too, you're driving a white van. Don't you realize that's already creepy in and of itself? Sorry, if you're unaware that your white van could be creepy, you got to get it together.
And my pregnant girls and girls that have been pregnant will vouch for this. When you're pregnant, especially when you're that far along in your pregnancy, you get kind of like spidey senses. You develop like these heightened sense of smell, heightened sense of hearing. And I truly believe that is your body creating a protection for you and that baby to make sure that nothing bad happens to either one of you. And if your senses are going off and telling you that this creeper in a white van who doesn't know you, who has no business talking to you, if he makes you feel weird, I think it's absolutely within the realm for you to call 911 and report him.
Okay. Now, somebody's asking in the chat room, Rachel Lee said, well, what if she wasn't pregnant? Do you still go about the same way? Does her being 8 months pregnant have anything to do with it?
I mean, it's really about how you feel. If you feel like this guy is creepy and he's talking to you and he's asking where you live, I mean, that is some shady behavior.
As a guy, if you're not trying to be creepy and you don't have bad intentions, what are you thinking? You just pulled up to a woman that is walking by herself. She has the AirPods in, so she's trying to be in her own little world. You keep talking to her and you're asking her creepy stuff like where she lives and where she walks.
Yeah, you've set off so many red flags, and you deserve to have the cops called on you, and they can come and talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Somebody texted and said, maybe the right move is not calling the police, but call your husband first. Tell him and say, hey, can you drive by and check on me? Or just so you know, I'm out and there's this guy that's kind of creepy, and maybe if I don't call you instead of tying up police. Is that a better play?
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like he's casing the neighborhood looking for someone to hurt. I would want to tell the police because I would want them to come and question him and make sure that he gets out of there. Maybe they would scare him off.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just kind of curious. If you are a woman that goes out walking, what kind of precautions, what do you do? Because you probably have had something maybe weird happen to you. My wife stopped going out at a certain time of day because she's like, every time I do, there's just some creepy dude or something weird happens that just doesn't make me feel right.
Denny's bought me this cool thing called the Claw. Have you seen this thing?
Yeah, you showed that. It looks like a hand grip, and then out of it comes these crazy spikes that I think you've dipped in poison.
I have not dipped them in poison yet.
Okay.
So you grip it and you squeeze it.
Right.
And when you're walking, it just looks like you're holding like something normal and square in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, it looks kind of like just a key thing, maybe a stress reliever.
But as soon as you squeeze it,
look at that,
these
fellas.
metal cat claws come out. And
imagine that.
If you get close enough for me to hit you with these things, I'm going for the eyes, and I'm not here to play.
Okay. One good little swipe is a nice deterrent.
You shouldn't be that close to a stranger. Just don't. You shouldn't be talking to a stranger who's walking by herself. You don't know her, and you have no business even speaking to her, much less asking her where she lives.
Mm-hmm.
If you get questioned by the cops after that, it's exactly what you deserve.
Yeah. A lot of people saying definitely do not go out without pepper spray or something like that. You got to have something that is with you. Always have your phone, ladies. Walk in well-lit areas and ways that you can, at least have a little bit of faith. But there's no way. If a creeper is a creeper and they want to approach you, then they're going to approach you. And guys, just a message to you that if you see a woman walking, for the most part, they want to walk. They don't want to chit-chat.
They don't want to chit-chat with you.
Not at a coffee shop.
So unless you are a predator, you have no business talking to her. She doesn't want to speak to you while she's out exercising.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Somebody who's a dispatcher said, it's not what we're there for as an officer. We don't mind getting these calls, and sometimes it is something, but at least it brought her comfort to the person that was scared. And, yeah, that is a question. So I think if you can call your husband, that's probably a better way to deal with it. So, and yeah, a lot of people who are out runners, like Stacy had said, yeah, I'm a 5 a.m. runner. And it does. When a car slowly creeps by you, it does. You bristle up and you put your hand on your pepper spray and you're like, okay, is this the one where it goes down?
Because only predators would do stuff like that. Only creepers would do stuff like that.
Right.
Because other people know that's not how you approach a stranger.
Mm-hmm. Somebody making a good note, too, saying, you know what, honestly, I know you seem like you get in your own world when you put on the headphones, but it does remove your awareness around you.
That's true. When I used to run with a group with leukemia, lymphoma, and they trained people how to run these half marathons, they would not allow anybody in the group to ever wear headphones or the AirPods or any of that because you're not aware of your surroundings or traffic.
Yeah.
A lot of people get hit by a car and snatched or hit by a bike, and you should be more aware and not tuning out the world around you.
Yeah. Also, watch wearing your hair in a ponytail. It makes it easier for somebody to grab you if you got the ponytail. Think about that.
So do a bun.
Yes. And this person who texted in said, I always try to wear bright colors. That's another thing that they do. So it is something to think about. So before you go out, have a plan. Know what's going on. And also, have your husband. If you've got somebody in the house, be like, hey, I'm going out now. I should be back at this amount of time. And then they can keep an eye on the clock. And if anything happens, acting fast is always important as well. So there you go. Any other thoughts? You can always text it to us, 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Yesterday, Jaybird tested positive for coronavirus, so he is going to be out of the studio for a little while and won't be on until he feels better. We'll get him on remote as soon as he is feeling better, and I don't know when that's going to be, so we'll see where he is. So
he's in pain, though. He was texting with us last night, and he said the body aches and the fatigue and just the no energy is crazy how it cripples you.
Yeah, so he's kind of going through it. So World Record Wednesday for Bird is not going to be happening today, but while he's out, we're going to do something fun for us because we always sit and we're bystanders just watching Jaybird do his silly little things trying to break the world records. And, we sit there and we got our comments, but could we do any better? So we're going to do a World Record Wednesday Beat the Bird edition. We're going to pick out some of the world records he's attempted. And yeah, we're not going to beat the world record, but can we beat the bird? I've got one, Virginia's got one, and Danny's got one, and we'll go with whatever bird got trying to attempt that record.
And we'll dedicate these to the bird.
Yes.
We're doing it for the bird.
That's right. World Record Wednesday, Beat the Bird edition. Okay, since Bird is out with coronavirus, we are going to be each taking a shot at World Record Wednesday. Either we show how awesome Bird is in trying to break these records, or we got a chance to beat the bird ourselves. So we'll see here. We're each going to take one of these things that Jaybird did for World Record Wednesday, and myself, Virginia, and Denny's, we're all going to give it a shot. See how we do. Okay, the one I'm going to take on here is Jaybird did the record for the most circles around the leg with a basketball in 30 seconds. The record was 68, and Jaybird did 33.
Okay, which is
So he
not
did about
too
half.
bad.
No, I thought this was one of his
He
better
went
ones.
fast.
Yeah, he did really well on it. So I want to see, do I have any chance of beating the bird on this
You've got a smaller leg.
one? Okay.
You are more athletic, I believe, right now. I was with you when you went to MD Now, and you had your men's physical checkup, and the doctor looked at Kevin and he's like, "Ugh, you're built like an athlete.
Right, I
You're
know.
built, you're built like a soccer player."
I couldn't believe it. I was like,
Kevin
I want to
looked
stay
at
there all
me.
day long. He just kept I never get compliments on anything.
Kevin was like, "Did you get that?
Yes.
Athlete?" He said, "Athlete,
Elite athlete.
elite athlete,
Elite athlete.
Because your resting heart rate was like 3 or something.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
crazy.
Got to take care of the bod, Virginia.
So, I mean, all eyes are on you. You better beat this.
Okay, all right. So let's see here. Let me put myself in a place. Maybe I'll come over there where you can see me and do the commentary. Somebody's got to count. Sue has to run the camera.
We call this booby trap corner, where Jaybird usually falls into the wall. Just be careful.
I'm gonna take a turn on his microphone here. So
Seems COVID friendly.
may not be a good idea.
No, we sprayed everything with Lysol.
Yes.
Yeah, as much as we can here. Okay, Denny's, you've got the clicker over there. I believe you got a 30-second clock. You can do that. Virginia, you'll count.
Okay.
Going for the most basketball rotations around one leg in 30 seconds. Okay. Denny's, you just tell me on your mark, get set, and go.
All right. On your mark, get set, and go.
1. Oh, no. 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's going pretty
6,
quick.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Wow, he's hustling.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
Halfway there,
21,
15 seconds left.
22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27,
10 seconds left.
28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34,
5 seconds.
35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40.
Buzzer.
At the
Oh,
buzzer.
40 at the buzzer.
40 at the
What did I do?
buzzer.
41, right?
Well, the
41.
buzzer was a
went
long
off, it was
buzzer.
40.
Okay. What did Bird do?
He did 33, I believe. Yep.
Dang.
You just dropped the ball.
In the beginning
You did.
and
You
recovered.
dropped it.
Wow.
It's impressive. It's impressive.
All right.
You
Beat
are
the bird.
an elite athlete.
Okay.
Doctor was right.
One up, one down. Okay, let's see. We're going to have Denny's for World Record Wednesday, Beat the Bird edition. Denny's is going to go after the world record for the most saltine crackers eaten in a minute.
How you feeling, Big D?
I mean, I've been preparing for this by not preparing for this.
I think that's Bird's.
Yes.
Okay, now I remember last time. Okay, so the world record here is 10 saltine crackers in 1 minute. Now, Bird got 4 when he tried this world record attempt. And do we remember what it was that really kind of held him back on his world record attempt? I thought there was something that he did that was kind of maybe a strategical error.
I think he tried to stuff like a few in his mouth at once. So the problem with this challenge is that your mouth dries out. So I think one at a time kind of gives you a second to
I think
create
it's
more
exactly
saliva.
yeah. He went like 2 or 3 at once, and then he just sopped up all the saliva, and then he just hit a wall.
Yes.
You got to keep it moist, Big D.
I think that's what you got to do.
Okay, all right. So Beat the Bird edition of World Record Wednesday. I beat the bird with mine. Denny's is going for his most saltine crackers in a minute is 10 in 60 seconds. All right, Denny's, here you go. On your mark, get set, and go. All right, Denny's going for his first one.
Well, it gets dry fast.
Not a big deal. Okay, it gets dry fast.
Does
he
get
said
dry
there.
fast.
Yeah. Okay, so Denny's is working it down. You're fine. I mean, you got a good pace. You're 10 seconds in, and you just now are getting ready to swallow your first cracker. You just put a second one in his mouth at 45 seconds. So here's the strategy. Keep in mind, Bird got 4, so he averaged 1 cracker every 15 seconds. Okay, so you're working on cracker number 2, and you are right now at the halfway mark, on pace to tie Jaybird's record of 4. Danny's going for his third cracker right now. 25 seconds are left. And you can see right now on cracker number 3, this is where it starts to get real.
Push it, Denny's.
Denny's is drying up. You're down to 15 seconds. Okay, you're going for cracker number 4. You're tied the Bird. If you can get this down, you're at 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mouth, let's see it.
Oh, he cleared it.
Does it count, Virginia?
It counts.
There,
It
you give it
counts.
to him?
Yeah.
Okay, so Denny's tied the Bird.
Wow.
Okay.
That first cracker does a lot of damage to your saliva.
Are we sure we did a proper cracker count?
Did we not, did I not do the cracker count?
I want to go back and look at the game film. You feel good about that?
That was 4, right?
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely 4. Wow, I can breathe again.
Okay. That's a tougher challenge than you might think. I mean, that's pretty real. The record's 10?
God, it dries you out immediately. The first one sucked up all saliva. The second one started getting tougher. The third one was, just dry.
How drippy is the person that has the world record that they can knock down 10 saltine crackers in 60 seconds?
They've got to be like me with just the overproductive saliva gland. My dentist says I'm a nightmare.
I bet, yeah.
When he does work on me, Dr. Weinberg has to keep putting in all these little cotton blocks, and they immediately soak up, and he's got to get new one.
Maybe that should have been yours, Virginia.
Yeah, it's so funny.
You might actually be the real world record.
If you ate something sour before, I wonder if you could produce more saliva.
Ooh,
Is that like doing steroids, though?
Yeah, that might be like that's Olympic cheating right there.
Yeah.
We have standards around here, Denny's.
Okay. All right, so far, our World Record Wednesday version of Beat the Bird with him out today. I beat him in the basketball circles around the leg. Denny's tied him on the most saltine crackers eaten in a minute. And now Virginia, can she beat the Bird? This is eating M&Ms with chopsticks. The world record is 34 in 60 seconds. Jaybird got 5 and 60.
I mean, it's tough.
It is tough, but I'm going for the world record.
And you're good at with chopsticks.
I love chopsticks.
Yeah.
I don't think the Bird uses chopsticks very often.
Never.
Your girl loves chopsticks. I was just using chopsticks on Sunday. I just love it.
So, without a doubt, you should be favored. I mean, you should be beating 5.
I mean, if I can't get more than 5, I need to leave. I'm embarrassed.
You just need to never try another world record attempt ever.
Shame my family.
So you've got high confidence that you are going to beat the Bird.
I've got to.
Okay.
Unless y'all grease these up with some Vaseline. These are those Vaseline M&Ms.
No rigging here. No rigging here. Okay, 60 seconds on the clock. World record 34. Jaybird got 5. Can Virginia beat the Bird in his world record attempt? On your mark, get set, and go. Okay, Virginia is going. She's already got 1 down. She has got 2. She's just flipping them right in. She's at 3 right now. She's at 4. Okay, she missed her 5th one. Okay, you got 5 now. Okay, Virginia's at 6, already down. She's at 7. She's already beaten the Bird. Already into this. Is that 8?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. She spilled a little bit. There's 9 in the mouth. Virginia is chewing on that. She's got 35 seconds left. 10 is where the mark is. She's at 11 M&Ms, already eaten with chopsticks. 12, got 28 seconds left. 13 is in the mouth. 14 is down. She's got 15. You are setting an impressive mark here. 16 M&Ms eaten.
Wow.
All right, she's fidgeting around with this last one and hit a little bit of a bump here. 17 is what we're at. 10 seconds are left. All right, 18. Here she goes. 18. She has got
19.
5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2,
20.
1, and done. Her final mark is 20. The world record is 34. Jaybird got 5. Virginia whooped that ass.
And I caught one with my vagina. Look.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Do you get a credit for that one? Does anybody have that mark?
It was in my thighs.
Most M&Ms in the vagina in 60 seconds?
It's a different kind of event.
That is a different kind of event.
We got to take that one to Monroe's.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. So 2 out of 3 beat the bird. Denny's tied. Okay. All right.
That was fun.
That is fun. Hopefully we get the bird back here soon. I don't know what we'll do for next week. Maybe we'll do another Beat the Bird edition for World Record Wednesday.
Hopefully we have him back on video chat by then.
Hopefully then he'll be able to do something. We'll be able to see him and be able to hear him as soon as he feels better. He had a positive COVID test yesterday, so he's going through it with the fever and all that. So we just want him to focus on his health and, feeling better. Getting to that point. The word like. You get around somebody saying it, I don't know what it is. You can't help but say it yourself.
I do it too.
Oh my gosh.
Especially if I'm trying to put together a good argument and my brain isn't working very fast.
That's impressive. You just dropped 3 likes in about 5 seconds.
It's a crutch.
Yeah.
It helps you get your thought lined up in your brain if you're not completely ready to tee up.
It's kind of like a mental cane.
It is.
Yes.
It's buffering for words.
So there's this show that is running on CBS. Love Island is the name of it. And it's all these hot young people, of course, are kind of in a house and are hooking up and all that kind of stuff.
They're gorgeous, Kevin.
Yeah. So they drop a lot of like bombs. And our job here is to try to guess how many times in just a 22-second clip these 2 girls on Love Island will use the word like. Okay. 22. All right, what do you think?
There's 2 of them, so they're going back and forth.
Yeah, 2 of them going back and forth. Let's say 10. What do you think? 10 in 22 seconds. Do you think they'll go over or under that, Virginia?
I'm hoping for over. Let's see what these girls got.
You're going to go over. Okay, Denny's is going over. Suits, you over, under. Suits is going over.
Nice.
And I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go with the push. I'm going to say they land right at 10.
Okay.
Land right at 10. Okay, let's see if we can count all the likes in this clip from Love Island.
Last night, obviously,
Okay. 1.
it was just an impulse thing, and, I shouldn't have said it, and I'm not...
Okay, we got another 2, right?
That's 3.
Okay, we're up to 3 likes.
Blind to, know where I went wrong.
I think it's just because, you are good friends with my little sister, and, I know you on the outside, and,
Okay.
That's 7.
Got 7, and we are 12 seconds in, 9 seconds left.
She's a champion.
I feel like we fight, big and little sisters sometimes.
Yeah.
And, when you brought, our sex life or our intimacy into it, I felt like I snapped, too.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the final tally you got, Virginia?
I have 12.
You got 12. Over was the right call. Very nice. 12 in 22 seconds.
Get it, girls.
Okay. Now, I did get this text yesterday that somebody sent here to the KVJ show, and they said, you guys should replay part of the show this morning where Virginia's talking about Panda's neck tat. She said several times. And
I was trying to choose my words carefully because I don't want to make Panda angry, but I don't like the neck tat. So it's a fine balance. And yeah, I was probably verbally stalling and using the word like.
Using your mental cane.
Yeah.
Okay, so on Love Island, those 2 girls, they did 12 likes in 22 seconds. We have exactly a 22-second clip here. Okay. Do you think
did I do more?
We can tie this? Anybody think that Virginia and I can go over? Can we go on a head-to-head battle? Okay, everybody else is saying no.
I hope not.
How close do we come between myself and Virginia to Love Island in the amount of likes that we do? You said he grew out his hair to kind of cover it a little bit?
He did. It's covered, but then I see it because I have to
Okay, are we at 2?
We're at 2.
Okay, we're at 2 in 7 seconds.
Help him trim his neck and upper back hair.
And so do you get angry every time you see it and he knows it?
We're at 5 and we are terrible.
We're at 5 and 14 seconds.
We're no better than these bimbos on Love Island.
I don't know. Let's see if we can catch him. We got 8 seconds left.
We're on your tail, bimbos.
And we're at what total right now?
5.
5. Okay. 8 seconds left. They did 12 and 22.
I don't get angry. I just get
You have the thought of, ugh.
I don't like it. I'm not angry. I'm just
Okay, is that another 3?
That is. We have 8.
We got 8 in 22 seconds. Okay, they got 12.
They got 12.
All right.
So we're not as bad, but we should know better. I mean,
that's
we're
good.
older and we're in broadcasting.
You know what? We might have to start, if we get in that thing, we might have to go to the shot collar. Because they use shot collars to train dogs, right? When something's wrong. And that might just be it. If we get on a rampage, somebody might have to strap on the shot collar for at least a minute. And we got to try to train your brain to get away from the likes.
Oh, my God.
I mean, we're trained broadcast professionals, right, Virginia?
We should be better.
We're not supposed to be overusing likes the way they do on Love Island.
Do better, do butter.
Well, now through Monday, you still got the no sales tax holiday that is going on here for school supplies, clothing, computers, things like that. Have you gotten all your stuff out of the way, Virginia?
Magnolia took the liberty of writing in my calendar that we are going on Saturday morning.
Okay.
First, we're going to pick up school supplies, then we're going to hit the mall, and then I'm going to just be like,
Yeah.
I hate them all.
It's tough. I guess, who hates it more, you or her? Is she actually excited to do this?
Oh, she loves
She
the
loves
mall.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's all about it.
Is she excited about school shopping, though?
Yes.
Or is it
she's
depressing?
She's
Okay.
pumped about the clothes.
So what is like the must-have? Because I'm trying to think, back when we were kids, I remember, the Air Jordans were hitting the market. And that was, if you had the Air Jordans or any version of that, I got the knockoff canvas ones. They're called Air Jordan Knockouts. And they were like a massively reduced priced version of it. They kind of look like it. Like if you were down the hall, you'd be like, "Hey, Kevin got Jordans." You'd be like, "No, he got the canvas ones."
You wanted the Jordans that you got from Foot Locker, but instead you got the ones from Marshall's.
Yeah,
it's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
They do have Nike products at Marshall's. It's just not the ones you want.
See, I think the Jordans are big again. So I'm wondering if you had to say, what is the must-have back-to-school item for kids right now? Where it's like, because, look, it's all status, it's all reputation, it's all, you want to be the cool kid. What would set you up? What do you have to get? What are those items today? Because I think Jordans would probably be on that list.
For boys, I think so, yes, definitely.
Okay. So Air Jordans still might be at the top of the list for must-have back-to-school items. What has Magnolia told you? Like, oh, Mom, I got to have this.
Well, she and a lot of her friends, they rock these kind of baggy sweatpants look with a cute little tiny top. And you can't, of course, show your midriff at school. So they'll put like an Ariana Grande-sized hoodie over that to cover the little tiny top. But then at lunch, voila, hoodie comes off.
Oh, okay. So that's kind of her little way of getting through with that.
Yeah.
So everybody wants the baggy hoodies right now?
Well, the baggy hoodies, the baggy sweatpants, the Brandy Melville is real big for the girls.
Okay.
At least in my world.
Okay.
And she likes that baggy look on bottom with a tight little tiny baby doll sized top.
When I was in high school, it was Ocean Pacific. You remember that?
Yeah,
you
totally.
Had the OP because we were so far away from any ocean or any beach. But yet you would have thought that it was like Beverly Hills 90210 because everybody's trying to wear OP.
Well, I was in Louisiana.
Right.
All we had was the Mississippi River, and that thing is gross. You do not want to get in that water at all. And we had OP as well.
Okay.
We had the whole board shorts thing.
Yeah, right.
Ain't nobody surfing in Louisiana, but they're all wearing surf shorts.
Yeah. We did that as well. And then when it came to school supplies, we did the Trapper Keepers, which were awesome because you get different stuff on it. Or else the folders were big, and they would have folders with different stuff on it.
Totally.
And then, do you remember smelly erasers?
Totally.
That was big. Those are the must-have items.
So Rocco has these things called Smensels, and
Okay.
they're smelly pencils. And that was the big thing last year in kindergarten, these Smensels.
Smensels.
He insisted on me giving him like $10 so he could buy Smensels for him and his friends.
Okay, so that's the hot new items.
At least it was last year.
Okay. Yeah, somebody said the JanSport Backpack Man. My son told me those are a must-have.
Okay, because those were cool back when I was in college.
Okay.
I had a JanSport at LSU.
So see, you're not too far out of it. Yeah, I'm wondering how much it's changed. What are those hot items that you've got to have? Somebody sent a text in and said, I'm 35 and the Lisa Frank was huge when I was in school. Crazy bright unicorns and seals and random animals kind of meets Care Bears is what it was all about.
Yeah, it looks like psychedelic.
Yeah,
And
okay.
super bright.
Yeah, so that's back. Trapper Keepers are back. 90s fashion is back. What the heck's going on, Virginia?
Everything old is new again.
I could go back to high school now.
I'm sure you wouldn't stand out a bit.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so weird. All right, got some makeup or breakup emails here. If you are thinking about punting your relationship, you can send us an email before you do. We'll give you our thoughts on whether or not you should. Mail at kvjshow.com. This person is wanting to know for this makeup or breakup, do I take the trip first? The email says, things have gotten stale with my boyfriend of 8 months. I told him this, and I think he sensed that our relationship was on the rocks. Well, I was planning on dumping him this week as my birthday is this weekend, and I was wanting to go out with my girlfriends with no strings attached. Well, now my boyfriend has surprised me with a getaway to Key West, and he dropped some major coin and has even booked us for some excursions. It looks like a lot of fun and seems a lot more like how we used to be when he was fun. I just don't know if he'll go right back to being boring after this weekend coming up and then think that I just used him all for this trip if I break up with him right after. So should I stick with my original plan and dump him now or take the trip and just see how it goes?
I think you should take the trip and tell him all of this stuff that's in your heart, that you were thinking that, your relationship got boring and stale and you missed the way that you guys used to be. And he is trying to step up and do an awesome trip.
Yeah.
And maybe he realizes too, and he just had to have you point it out to him that he's gotten stale. But reiterate when you're on the trip, look, this is the kind of fun stuff that I loved about our relationship. We did fun things. We went places. We were active. And I miss that. You can't be boring. We got to still date each other.
Yeah, I think if you mention it to him, you clear yourself and you could still dump him sometime after the trip.
Totally.
If it's like, I realized we're just broken. Because people do that. They put on a show. And relationships, the first 6 months, they call it the honeymoon phase for a reason, and then they stop trying.
Right.
And it sounds like he stopped trying, and you're just bored with him.
And you got to remind him who he's dating and that he needs to keep trying because you're not going to settle for some complacent-ass man.
If you don't want to stay fun, this relationship's not going to work, and that's not really a bad thing to say.
No, it's not at all. And I think by going on this trip, you can give him the opportunity to be his old self and win you back.
Mm-hmm. This makeup or breakup said, did my drunk girlfriend cross a line? The email said, I caught my girlfriend drunk kissing a guy's neck at a party.
Oh, my.
She says it didn't mean anything. Now, we've been together for 2.5 years, and sometimes when she's drinking, she gets a little touchy-feely with people. It's never anything too terrible, just slightly inappropriate. I do, however, feel like she was very out of line with what she did this time. I love my girlfriend, but I hate when she gets this way. Is this a makeup or breakup?
If you're with a girl and every time she drinks, she's all over other dudes, you're never going to be able to be around her and trust her when she's drinking.
Right. No, it's a bad look.
That sounds stressful, and it sounds like you guys are always going to be fighting about it. And I don't know if you really want that for your life.
There's either a lack of respect in the relationship or she has a drinking problem. But yeah, you can't get a pass and say, I turn into this when I drink, and it's not good for your relationship, and then you keep the relationship. I can promise you Walls Pennington would be out.
You got to find a girl like me who likes to get drunk and then fight everyone.
That's a lot more fun.
Not kiss on everyone.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll take the kissing. You go ahead. You know what? You go ahead and kiss all over that guy. Just don't fight anybody.
I'm like a beta fish.
Yes, you are. Okay, what do you think about this email for makeup or breakup? My husband and I were happily married for 8 years. And then my husband came to me and said that he was suppressing a lot of sexual desires and that he wanted for us to try bringing another person into the bedroom.
Oh, boy, here we go.
I love him, and I agreed to join the lifestyle with him. I think we know what that lifestyle is, Virginia.
They're bringing another girl or they're bringing another dude? Because you should say, okay, yeah, we can bring somebody else in. His name is Bill. He lives down the street, and he's hung like a donkey. Let's go.
No, it was always girls.
Oh, of course.
It was always girls.
Of course it was.
Now, we have done it for a few years in the swinging lifestyle, and it was just something that after a while I didn't want to do anymore. So I went to my husband. I said, look, I want out. I don't have anything to do with it. But he said, I don't. It's something I now need. This is, what satisfies my urges. We have a great marriage, do we not? We're happy, right? This has brought us to that place. I'm satisfied. I don't want to be with anybody but you unless we're bringing somebody else into the bedroom. Now, she says, I'm not a jealous person, and I love this man and his companionship, but I just don't know how this goes. When I think about it, I don't like it. We are now at an impasse, and I am now thinking that maybe a divorce is the only thing I've got left. Do you agree?
I think you really have to listen to your heart, and you really went above and beyond. You stepped out of your sexual comfort zone to make him happy because he just wanted to have another side piece and taste all the flavors of the rainbow. This ain't Skittles.
Yeah.
You don't get to taste all the flavors. When you marry somebody and you guys are in a committed relationship for 8 years, when you change the rules 8 years in, you can't expect her to be into that. And if she's coming to you now and saying, I tried it, I don't like it, you either have to stop it or you have to leave him.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Yeah, I don't see this working, and I don't think that you need to allow your husband to continue to be with other women.
No.
And other people sexually when you're just not into it anymore. And yeah, that's why marriages break up. Because sometimes you're radically on two separate pages and you just can't bridge that gap.
But he doesn't get to keep putting you in situations that you're not comfortable with. And you need to stand up and say, I don't want to do this anymore. I tried it for you to make you happy. And it makes me skeeved out. I'm not into it. I mean, divorce might be the only option.
It kind of feels that way. So, yeah, you can't go on like that. All right, any thoughts to any of the emails that came in? 877-979-WRMF. Somebody who thought that the girl who was trying to figure out whether or not she should break up with her boyfriend now like she had planned or wait till after that awesome Key West trip that he just got for her birthday happens. Somebody said, I think she's BSing for the radio. She knows she wants to break up with a guy but is trying to justify to herself that she's hoping to fix the relationship. She knows it's over. Break up and save him the money and possibility of staying together.
Oh, I disagree. She needs to give him a second chance.
I can't believe how many people disagree with the Key West one. Hey, girl, the gold nigga, you trouble. It's messed up going on that Key West trip. If you know it's over, what's the point of prolonging it? And she's just using the KVJ show to justify it.
She don't know it's over.
Girl's a gold digger.
If he would have stepped up and kept acting like he acted in the beginning of their relationship, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
He took his eye off the ball. He got too comfy.
You can't get comfy. You have to keep dating the person that you're in a long-term relationship with.
That's it.
If you stop putting the work in, then don't be surprised when everybody tunes out.
Mm-hmm. And it's a slam dunk. If your husband still wants to be a swinger and you don't, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Somebody said, yeah, you got to. If he cares about your relationship, he's going to be like, all right, that's something I can't do. You know?
That's it. And he's going to show you with this if he cares more about you or more about poking different girls.
Well, that's just marriage. Yeah, I would love to every Saturday night be out till 1 a.m. by myself partying. But my wife ain't going to go for that.
Don't get married if that's what you want.
That's right. That's right. Coming up here, we got a round of Battle of the Generations. We got our Gen Xer out today, so we're going to have to do a Gen Z versus Millennials this week, and gives the Millennials a chance to catch up. I think we're at 13 wins for Gen Z, 6 still for Millennials is where we are on the overall tally. So that means we'll have Suits versus Denny's here today. Jaybird, yes, if you missed yesterday, the After the Show podcast, he did test positive for COVID. So he is out. He's got a good fever. He's achy, got the chills, all that kind of stuff. So it's,
zero energy, and he's going through it.
He is going through it. So we hope that his symptoms start to subside and don't get worse. So yeah, we'll see. But just take care of yourself. I'm mentally, I'm going back to exactly where I was at the height of this thing.
Well, some people are saying, like, I saw my sister posted something on Facebook that said that, okay, it's now going to get worse than it ever did at the height.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tough because there's, so many headlines you just don't even know, and it's tough. But I mean, just for me, everybody got handled their own way. But at least what I'm going to be doing is I am going back to the same heightened sense that I had during the height of it, where you're masking pretty much all the place, you're keeping your social distance, and you're saying, okay, do I necessarily need to do that right now, or maybe I need to chill on that kind of, appearance or opportunity.
Totally.
So that's kind of where I am until we can get this thing back in check. So Bird's going to be out in studio for a while, and then hopefully he'll feel better to at least join us from his house here in the next couple days. I'm hoping that's the optimistic side of it. Got Jaybird out today. He usually represents the Gen Xers in here, but I was thinking, Virginia, maybe next week we'll have you play if he's not back.
I'll do
You're
it.
Gen Xer as well? You could
I'll
do that?
step up and I'll rap and I'll dedicate it to the bird.
So today what we have is millennials trying to catch up and move into second place. Gen Z has got 13 wins, so they're kind of running away with it. And then we've got the millennials with 6, Gen X also with 6, so they're tied for second. So we'll see if we can get a little bit of movement here today. If Denny's can wind up winning this thing, he's representing the millennials, and Suits is representing Gen Z, and Amanda is going to be your partner here. Suits, hello, Amanda.
Hello.
Okay.
Amanda, let's get another win.
Your mic wasn't off.
Amanda, let's get another win.
It's hard to smack talk and pump up your partner if Kevin doesn't turn your mic on.
It makes it a challenge.
You've been rigged.
Okay, got Amanda from Pembroke Pines for Gen Z, and then we've got Monica here from Boynton Beach for our Team Millennial. Hello, Monica.
Hi, guys. Want to say a shout out to Jaybird. I'm so sorry. I had COVID as well. It sucks. Hope you feel better, man.
Aw, thank you.
Keep Bird in the prayers.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right. Okay, we're going to start off with our Gen Zs here, and Amanda with the first question. If she can answer this all by herself in 3 seconds, she gets 2 points. If she's got to go to Suits, then we will give them 1. Got to have a correct answer to get a point. Okay. First question for Amanda. Who was the lead singer of the band Nirvana, Amanda?
Oh, my gosh.
Okay. Tough one. Suits. Who was the lead singer of the band Nirvana?
So I don't know why this name is jumping out to me, but I'm just going to say Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl.
The drummer.
Damn it.
Oh, I knew he was on Nirvana.
He
some
was
way,
the
shape, or form.
drummer.
He was the drummer, unfortunately. Kurt Cobain.
He was, really?
Kurt Cobain?
Yeah,
Kurt Cobain.
started a whole genre of music.
Was the lead singer. Isn't that crazy that...
Grunge rock. I bet you
Yeah.
it makes a return.
Suits, you such a baby.
It's funny. Everybody says these questions are so easy. I don't know most of them. Are they really that easy?
I think that's the point of it.
Yeah, okay. All right, going to throw a question here at Monica, our millennial from Boynton Beach. Okay, your question... Mark Wahlberg's brother was a founding member of New Kids on the Block. What's his name?
Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie Wahlberg is correct.
Look at that.
Feels good.
Quick.
Okay. Yeah, all over it.
Very quick.
The millennials are today. All right, let's go back to Amanda and our Gen Z. All right, your question is... Seth MacFarlane became famous for what animated TV series, Amanda? Okay, what was that? Sorry, go ahead.
You got it correct.
A Family Guy.
Family Guy is
Yay.
correct. Yeah. Very nice.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
we got a tie now, 2 apiece. All right, back to millennials. Let's see if they can keep the lead here in the battle of the generations. Your question, Monica. Which rapper plays Detective Finn in Law & Order Special Victims Unit?
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. That is incorrect.
Close. I think it's
so
Ice-T.
Gonna go Ice-T. Denny's got it right to save a point. Whew. Different ice.
It's tricky.
It's tricky.
Too many ices.
There's a lot of ices out there. Vanilla ice.
Vanilla
Oh my
ice.
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. After a couple rounds, we got millennials with a 1-point lead, 3-2 here in the Battle of the Generations. This is where it gets real.
Oh, we need it.
Okay, here we go. Next question. This was for you, Amanda, and Team Gen Z. What is the name of Tony Stark's dad in the whole Iron Man series? Tony Stark's...
Howard Stark.
That is correct.
That's such a tough one.
I had no idea. I'm so glad she got that.
Dang, girl. Impressive.
Dang, girl.
Okay, that was a big point. So Gen Z takes a 4-3 lead. Pressure now is on our millennials. Okay, the question. Which actress is the daughter of Melanie Griffith, Monica?
Dakota Johnson.
That is correct.
Wow. Needed that.
Lightning fast.
Needed that.
The millennials go back on top here. Okay, back to Gen Z. Your question. Ryan Reynolds was at one point engaged to which Canadian musician, Amanda?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea.
Okay, for Gen Z, Suits, you can save a point if you know.
Canadian musician, Celine Dion. I don't know. It's a little old for him. Is she Canadian?
She is.
I thought she was the only Canadian female singer I could think of.
Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
They were engaged, really. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Alanis Morissette. Okay, so here we go. Monica, if you can get anything here, you're going to wrap it up and claim a win for the millennials here in Battle of the Generations. Okay, your question. In which state did the short-lived series Freaks and Geeks take place? Monica.
North Carolina. I have no idea.
Darn, I watched that too. It's just been so long. I'm gonna say, what state? Is it Michigan? Darn, what is that?
It is Michigan.
Wow! I haven't watched that show in, 20 years.
Denny's wrapped
you.
up.
I was going just from what I remember.
Wow.
Jeez.
Team Millennium gets the win. Congratulations. All because of Denny's pulls one out of the hat and gets the win.
So
He
close.
brought it today.
Yep. Congratulations, Monica, getting the win. And Amanda, good fought game. Thanks for playing along.
Woo.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, there you go.
Aw, cuties.
Pumped.
Millennials officially in second place now. Impressive stuff. What's going on, Suits? They're catching up on you.
You know what? The point of having a big lead is to use it. So
Okay.
Suits wants to keep it interesting.
Oh, man.
can't get too far ahead.
Arrogant.
Yeah.
I learned from the best.
There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
This dude on a Miami-bound flight all over the news, 22-year-old guy that apparently had a couple cocktails and then spilled a drink on himself, comes out of the bathroom with his shirt off. And it sounds like some of the flight attendants at first, were kind of like helping the guy out, trying to get a new shirt out of his bag. But then things turned a little south when he tried groping a few of them.
Ah.
Yeah, he apparently was groping some female flight attendants' breasts, and then things started to escalate from there. He started cussing out the flight attendants then, and they tried calming him down, and then eventually gets into a scuffle with a male flight attendant, and they say, all right, enough's enough with this cat, and they restrain him down to his seat.
Yeah, all these passengers jumped up to help the male flight attendant, and then it was pretty much over for this kid.
Yeah, here's a little bit of the sound of the melee.
You guys suck! My parents are worth more than $2 million damn dollars. And you know what? You suck! You see? Hey! Yo! Chill out!
Oh, boy. What do you say? My father's worth over $2 million?
My parents are worth more than $2 million. Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
Nobody cares.
Dude, you're flying to Miami. No, that's not going to impress anybody.
You're not flying private, so they're not worth that much.
Right.
You're on a plane packed with people. Wasn't it Spirit or something?
He was on Frontier.
Oh, Frontier.
Yeah.
It's basically only a couple of steps above Spirit.
Right.
We're not that impressed, dude.
Well, as they restrained this dude, people on the plane started cheering. He wound up getting arrested and booked on several charges when they landed, but a few of those flight attendants are now temporarily suspended after Frontier Airlines decided that duct taping this passenger to a seat might have crossed a line.
I don't know. This guy deserved the duct taping, and I think they should totally let these flight attendants keep their job with no ramifications. This guy was grabbing boobies and then flailing and trying to hit anybody. Like, this guy needed to be restrained, and sometimes duct tape works great.
Yeah, I mean, the guy clearly can't be trusted to just sit and chill in his own seat, so you got to do what you got to do, I would think.
Frontier, you need to have the backs of your flight attendants, not some unruly jerk-off dude on the plane yelling about how much his parents have.
Yeah, I feel for these flight attendants, too. They're talking about how squirrely people are getting, and I saw this stat from the Association of Flight Attendants. 85% of flight attendants have dealt with an unruly passenger.
Yeah, and you see it because I just recently flew when I had to go to my stepmom's funeral. And the vibe on the plane is just different.
Really?
People
Okay.
are just anxious, and some people are pissy. And yeah, some people do argue with the flight attendant about the masks. They've got attitude. They got something to say under their breath. It's a totally different vibe.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of curious if we do have any flight attendants listening or former flight attendants. Tell me about your worst passenger.
Ooh.
What happened? Because if 85% of you have dealt with an unruly passenger, 85% of you have a story.
Please give it to us,
Yeah.
especially if you had to duct tape them.
Right. 877-979-WRMF. There was a guy in Michigan got arrested last month for robbing 8 different ice cream shops. And
he had an MO.
He just loved ice cream. He just couldn't get enough of it. And then when they finally let him out, he robbed 3 more. But the problem was he was wearing a GPS monitor to track where he was.
Dude, when you got the ankle bracelet on, you can't keep robbing.
Yeah, so they got him again. Yeah.
Oh.
In Canada, they opened up one of those drunk driving checkpoints, and it had a problem. It was too successful. Apparently, they were pulling over so many impaired drivers, they couldn't keep up with it, and they had to shut it down. They didn't have enough personnel to handle it.
Was everybody drunk?
Does everyone in Canada drive drunk? Like, what is this?
What's all that about?
I don't know. Great question. There's a British teacher that has spent the COVID-19 lockdown having 2 pregnancies.
Oh, my.
So if you were bored during yours, she was anything but. She wound up having 4 kids during COVID.
She had 2 sets of twins?
2 sets of twins. 4 kids in lockdown time.
That sounds terrible.
She said it's been a little bit of a whirlwind. So you thought you had it bad. Imagine adding 4 newborns into your COVID experience.
Aye.
There's a man from Colorado that brought his own scale to a Texas Roadhouse restaurant. The 22-year-old was celebrating his birthday, and he ordered one of those 6-ounce steaks. And he looked at the steak when they brought it to him. He's like, that looks a little small. He had a little pocket scale on him. He dropped the steak on it, and he said it only weighed 3.6 ounces.
Yeah, but is it 6 ounces before or after cooking
That's
it?
what a lot of people are arguing, saying that's how
Yeah.
it works. It shrinks upon hitting the grill. It's like, in half? A lot of people are calling him a Karen. Not many people were upset with Texas Roadhouse, saying that's just what happens. But he's saying, look, I got a 6-ounce steak. That's not 6 ounces.
You're a bozo for bringing a scale in there. Maybe you should just go home, go to the grocery, and cook your own steak at home.
Yeah, who walks around with a scale in their pocket?
You're annoying. Sit down.
Yeah. Something fun going on in a small town in Wisconsin called Stoughton. Apparently, a giant beach ball just showed up in the middle of town, and all the locals started going around and batting it around, having fun with it. Now it's kind of like the unofficial town mascot.
COVID ball.
Yes, there you go. People are rolling it around town, taking selfies with it, even signing it. So
Yes, everyone touch it.
when you're in a small town in Wisconsin, yeah.
It's the most exciting thing they've seen in years.
That's it. Yeah, you want to entertain a whole town of Wisconsin, just inflate a ball and go. What do you think about this? Are you a big fan of Amazon's new Scan Your Palm technology? It's happening at their physical stores, and they're saying all you have to do is wave your hand across their scanner to purchase items. Now, some people are freaked out by it and don't want to use it. They're afraid of it. And so now Amazon is giving you a $10 credit if you'll let them scan your palm. But some people are like, Big Brother, I don't know, Mark of the Beast, what's going on here? You know, there's already so many QAnon posts on this thing.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel. I mean, you're a man of the Bible. Do you think this is Mark of the Beast adjacent?
Oh, I'd have to get into a very long conversation about that, Virginia. But yeah, I'm not so worried myself.
I'm not worried either. Just like, whatever. You want my palm?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Not so much the mark of the beast, but, do you trust the technology and security? And that always seems to be the big issue because there's so many stories of these Russian hackers out there. I'm more afraid of that than I am of the beast.
Okay.
So, yeah. So that, I think, would be more my line of thought. But they're doing it. And that's, I guess, where it's going. If Amazon's doing it, waving your palm to pay for your items. So there you go. All right, flight attendants, you got a story? Call us, text us. 85% of you have dealt with an unruly passenger. What exactly happened? 877-979-WRMF. And this just in, apparently Frontier just reversed their decision and sided with the flight attendants.
Good.
That's good.
They better.
Yes. So there you go. So if you've got one of those unruly passenger stories, share it with us here at the KVJ Show. Well, without the Bird here today, he tested positive yesterday for coronavirus. So he's going through it. He had the fever, had the aches, sore throat.
Body chills.
Yeah.
He says he has no energy. He feels just completely depleted.
Yeah.
So everybody just say a little prayer for our Jaybird.
Yeah, it's real crazy. I think, I know me included, like, okay, cool. We put this thing behind us. Rearview mirror was kind of focused on life and all that kind of stuff. And then the numbers really kicked up here in Florida. We've got 19.2% of the country's new cases. So basically 1 out of every 5 is out of Florida.
Yeah, Florida's on fire.
Yeah, we broke our own COVID hospitalization record for the second day in a row. 11,863 people now hospitalized in the state for COVID-19. And they're saying that with this, people are getting sicker faster with the Delta variant than in the previous waves. And also, they're seeing younger people that are going into the hospital as well. And I got a text that says, FYI, I'm an RN here at a South Florida hospital. And in my opinion, COVID is actually worse than ever now. People are sicker and some have been fully vaccinated. So that's the other little twist as well, is how many people have been vaccinated and are getting it. And they say, hey, the good thing about it is hopefully at least it will knock the severity of the symptoms down if you've been vaccinated. Is everything I've been reading on it. So,
and we're still just trying to learn,
Yeah,
Every
right.
day it seems like it morphs a little bit.
Yeah.
I was dancing around 3 months ago like a dumbass saying how I was waxed and vaxxed, and apparently that don't mean nothing.
Well, yeah.
I can still get it. I can still spread it. Okay.
I guess you just don't know what it means. It's got maybe it makes it less severe. So
Yeah.
It seems like it's that easy to spread that pretty much about everybody can be getting it. And this is what I thought was interesting. They say that the COVID symptoms are varying depending upon your age and gender, because I'm hearing different symptoms now that seem to be, because Jaybird has got the fever, he's got the chills that are going on, the body aches. I'd had a sore throat, had a bronchitis cough, maybe a little bit of COVID. I got a headache and was tired, and that was it. And they say men now are more likely to report fatigue. So that's the one thing I'm hearing a lot of guys. Shortness of breath and chills. And I know Bird said his throat hurt, and somebody else we know and suspect might have the COVID. They're saying the same thing about it. It feels like they're swallowing needles.
Yes.
When they swallow.
And the muscle aches, too, like the body all over. It just feels like, you get hit by a truck.
They say women were more likely to experience loss of smell, chest pain, and a persistent cough. And then they said even by age, this Delta variant is different. They say that the loss of smell wasn't nearly as common among adults over the age of 60. So it varies from person to person. But if you're in one of those groups and you start to feel a certain way like that, best thing to do is just masking, separating. Don't be going out or to different events or around people if you've got even a little twinge of, I don't know, do I feel good? Do I not feel good?
I know people that went to Dave Matthews and now they have COVID. I went to my first buffet that I've been to in 20 months. And it's just crazy. I thought we were done, but I guess we're not.
Well, so I'm just keep an eye on here for hopefully we can, get through this in the next couple of weeks and get the numbers back down again. But yeah, what you thought you knew, you maybe not know, and you got to just keep paying attention to what is going on. So there we go. So, yeah, if you just tuning in, Bird's got COVID. We'll be able to get him on through remote camera and microphone when he feels up to it. And he's not there yet. So wish him the best, and hopefully we'll get him back pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm going to go drop off more Gatorade and stuff on his front porch today and just every day leave a little care package.
We just got back to a lot of live events. We had Rolling Loud a couple of weeks ago. You had the Green Day Weezer show at Hard Rock Stadium. You had Dave Matthews over the weekend.
You got Dave Chappelle supposed to be this week.
Yeah, and I just kind of wonder, where are we going to wind up with this? Ryan in the chat room said, all my friends who went to go see Millennium in Miami have flu, strep, or COVID.
Wow.
So apparently a lot of people are catching the funk there at that show. But that was like an indoor thing, so I wonder if it'll change because you've got tomorrow night, Korn and Stained are going to be at the amphitheater. Dave Chappelle's an indoor event. That's at Hard Rock Live.
And he's testing everybody. If you're going to Dave, you have to get there early. There's all kinds of, you got to actually be tested at the venue.
Yes.
You can't just walk in with your COVID test. Dave's like, nuh-uh.
Right. And I guess hoping that those are accurate as you do them that quickly. And that's the other thing that's insane as well. Denny's had said that he's hearing his wife was going around trying to find the quick test like the one Jaybird took yesterday, and they're gone everywhere.
Yeah.
Can't even get them.
Multiple people we know are trying to find those quick tests now, and they can't find them.
Yeah, so that might be tough. You're trying to make a decision. And then on Saturday and Sunday, Monster Jams at the BB&T Center. That's another indoor event. So, we got these events that are happening again, but are they going to start saying, maybe the indoor ones at least? But I guess even the outdoor ones, you saw Lollapalooza over the weekend. Even though you are outdoors, there were people that were just...
My girlfriend said that the lawn at Dave Matthews was just people on top of people on top of people.
Really?
So,
yeah.
Anytime you go to a show or any kind of thing like that.
Even if it is outdoors.
You're still in very close quarters with a bunch of randoms.
Yeah. So who knows what's going to happen here coming up. So, maybe going back to that mentality of go to a nice ventilated place outdoors where you can enjoy yourself. And for Florida, luckily, that's beaches. So we got that going on. Go in the morning. Honestly, the morning I am out. My wife and I do that on Saturday mornings. We walk Palm Beach. It is one of the best times. I don't know how long I've been here. I didn't even realize that clock tower thing on Palm Beach.
It's beautiful.
That is absolutely amazing. And I'm like, how did I not really ever know about that thing? And people are always out there on Saturday mornings taking photos, prom photos, graduation photos.
You need to get in that thing, Kevin, and put it on the gram.
No doubt. I definitely do. I got to get with it.
I want to see a whole shoot of you posing in that clock tower
I
thing.
might have to do that. Yeah, I'm saying without a doubt, that's where we got to get our next show photos.
Sexy.
It's in the top 5 in the nation for most Instagrammable beaches. Palm Beach, they put at number 4, and that's where you want to go. It's right at the end of Worth Avenue, right there at the ocean. It's a great spot. If you want to get a great Instagrammable photo, that's where I would say to go. Number 1, though, what do you think is the most Instagrammable beach, according to a search engine for vacation rentals? If Palm Beach is 4 in South Florida, what's number 1 in the entire country?
Oh, is it going to be, it's got to be South Beach, right?
It is South Beach, yes.
There's going to be something on the West Coast on that list as well because they have that sugar sand. It's like all white and soft.
Well, what's interesting was TripAdvisor had said that St. Pete Beach was the best beach in the country earlier this year. And then this same search engine that did this proclaimed Siesta Key Beach is the most popular beach in Florida just last month. But when they're talking about Instagrammable, for some reason they say it's South Beach and Palm Beach.
Be careful, too. I think some of the West Coast towns were experiencing that red tide.
Yeah, stinky dead fish.
So, if you go over there, make sure you check right before you go that they're not still got that red tide funk.
Yeah, so maybe do the Instagrammable beaches in South Florida on the East Coast this weekend and then wait for that thing to pass. They give it to South Beach because of the iconic lifeguard stands. They say Miami Beach is called the Art Deco playground for a reason. That's why it's number 1 in the nation.
I believe it.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to get some cool photos, those are the 2 beaches they say in South Florida to go check out. The top beaches in the country pretty much dominated with California beaches, and then you have Myrtle Beach in South Carolina and Virginia Beach in Virginia. So those are the ones they say are the best. When do you know it's time to run? Here are 10 things to look out for, and tell me if you don't agree with all of these. If you show up for a date and you see any of these things, just don't even bother. This is not going to be good. This is according to Bold, a dating site. One, they arrive late. And I guess it would depend upon what it is, but that's a really bad sign, they say, because it shows already a lack of respect. They don't really have it together. This person's kind of a mess.
See, I'm a little more forgiving on that one.
Because you're always late.
Because I'm always late.
Because you're always late.
But look, when you see a girl walked in with winged eyeliner, just know that took 20 minutes.
Okay.
She looks so good. Don't judge her.
Here's what they say is the double whammy, though. It's arriving late and then not texting to let you know.
Oh, yeah. You got to let everybody know. And you got to apologize.
Right.
You got to really be like, I'm so sorry, but here's what happened. Offer a valid explanation.
They say, like, if you're over 5 minutes, at that point, it's good to at least shoot off a, hey, here's what time I expect, and I'm a little bit late. Sorry. Quick little kind of apology for being late.
Oh, 5 minutes. You're still on time.
Oh, you're still on time?
Yeah.
When you officially Virginia late?
The clock doesn't start ticking till 10. At 10 minutes, then you're
10
late.
10 minutes, then you're a little late.
Yes, you get a 9-minute forgivable window in my book.
You're all good.
Yes.
You're all good. Okay, sign number 3, first date signs to run. They look like they just rolled out of bed. You want somebody that's at least going to try to impress you. It's the first time you're seeing them. If they can't even put in that effort, don't bother.
Yeah, sloppy is not sexy.
They don't ask you questions. Now, that is kind of interesting. They say on a first date to look out for that because it shows somebody that's typically self-centered. They only want to talk about them. You want somebody that is interested in other people. And they say it's a really good thing that you should be aware of, too, when you're out in social settings. Don't make everything about you. People will like you more if you spend more time talking about them than talking about yourself.
And it looks sincere, too. Like if you're on a date with a guy and he's asking you questions about your life and your family and your pets, then you think, okay, this guy really does care.
Mm-hmm. That's what they want to see. They gossip. Uh-oh, Virginia, another first date sign to run. They gossip.
Well, I am what I am. I can't help it.
Well, they say, if they seem to really take joy in talking bad about other people.
Only bad people.
That is kind of the warning to say, okay, they're going to do it to you, about you, and they're probably bringing a lot of negativity to the table. You might want to avoid this person for a second date.
The way I look at it, if I'm talking bad about you, you probably deserve it.
Okay, all right. Another first date sign to run, they take calls. Now, if somebody is taking a call during your date, and to me, I think you'd have to have a really good excuse.
Yes.
And be like, hey, I got somebody in the hospital, or I got somebody, this is a problem. Do you mind if I take this? And you need to probably reference it that way. Say, I'm so sorry. Do you mind if I take this real quick?
And it's way better to take it in the bathroom or take it outside of the restaurant.
Yeah.
You don't want to sit at the
Excuse
table.
yourself,
Yes,
right.
yes.
Mhm. They order on your behalf. A sign you need to run. Does that bother you, Virginia?
I mean, that's just weird. In this day and age,
yeah.
If a guy that I just met wants to order for me, I am super weirded out.
People still do that? That's still a thing?
I don't think that's a thing.
That seems like a 1950s kind of thing.
Oh.
Oh, and she'll be having.
She'll have the salad.
What?
Gotta keep my little lady in check.
What?
No. Nobody does that.
Jerk, I eat steak. They also comment on what you're eating. Another sign to a run.
Yeah, you don't want anybody telling you, oh, you should have got the salad. You're looking a little thick in the middle.
And I guess, I'm sure Jaybird of here, he will qualify. What is that comment about how they say what you're eating? Because if you have interest in being, hey, that looks really good, and they're commenting on it, it looks great, that's positive commentary. But if it's, snide comments to the side about maybe you shouldn't be eating that, or that looks terrible, or what's wrong with your taste, then stay away from that person. They ogle other people. Do they got wondering eyes while they're on a first date with you?
I've seen that before.
Really?
I have totally seen that. It's gross. If you can't even keep it together on the first date, that guy or that girl, whoever it is just, they can't be trusted.
Another first date sign to run, they get wasted. Especially if you're not wasted. Now, I guess if you both decide we're going to just get plowed on this first date and have a great time, good for you. But if you kind of have it together and they're completely housed to the point where they're tripping, can hardly stand up, they're that blasted. It's a bad sign. They say you need to run.
Let's not judge consumption levels. Not yet.
I knew you wouldn't be buying into that one. Tell me if you agree with these. We're going over the first date signs to run, like they arrive late or don't text when they do. They don't have it together. They look disheveled. They gossip. They take a call at the table. They ogle other people. They get too plowed. Somebody said, well, remember yesterday, I would add this, the lady who had texted in for Am I the Jerk, where she said that she had accepted a drink from another guy at the bar when she was supposed to be getting ready to have a first date with somebody else. The guy walked in, saw her at a bar with somebody else, walked right out and texted her and said, that's the rudest thing anybody's ever done. She's like, I wasn't even on the clock with you yet. And what's wrong with me, accepting a drink from somebody else? We're not exclusive.
But, I mean, it does send a signal to that guy at the bar that, hey, I'm here. I'm ready to talk to you now.
Yeah, I guess, have the respect of, like, I'm giving you all my attention and I'm giving you a full shot. That's what a first date is. I'm giving you everything that I've got. The focus is on you. The respect is on you. And we'll see where this goes. I'll give it a chance.
And just the fact that your date walked in and saw that, yeah, if you were going to get a drink from another guy and let him hit on you, you don't let your date that's showing up see that. It's just sloppy.
Somebody said a red flag for me is when the guy pretends like he left his wallet at home, doesn't have any money, can't pay, and then you got to wind up paying. Do you agree with this? They say at least on the first date, I think the guy should pay. Do you agree with that, Virginia?
I do.
Okay. I'm so cool with it. I'm good, but I don't know where we're set today.
I mean, I think everybody's going to be different, but I'm old, therefore I'm old school, and I think it's nice. I think it's a beautiful gesture.
Yeah, why not at least throw it out there? I remember somebody, they'd say they got yelled at by a date because they wanted to pay, like going, I got my own money. I'd be like,
it's not about that.
To me, that's actually a first sign to be like, okay, well, if you can't accept a nice gesture and just take it as that, and immediately you want to call me a chauvinist or whatever because I do that, I would get out. Somebody else said a red flag for me. Somebody wants to talk about their past relationships.
Ugh, that's terrible. Jaybird had that happen.
Yeah.
Some girl he went on a first date with, all she wanted to talk about was all her exes and her violent past with them. I mean, just all this information that you wouldn't even tell a guy like 6 months in.
Well, what makes sense is they're not over the past, and they have to get past the past before they can get into the future, and you're supposed to be the future. So if they're not, I'd be like, look, you need to take care of your demons, and then when you're really ready to date, then maybe you can call me.
Amen.
But not now. All right, good suggestions. Got anything else to add? You can always get a hold of us here at the KVJ Show. Today's National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day today. Oh man, one of the main reasons why I was a fat kid was chocolate chip cookies, Virginia. I used to make unbelievable chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, fat kids make the best desserts.
Oh, fat kids love cookies.
Have you seen that new crumble cookie opened up in Palm Beach, in Jupiter?
No,
what
is that?
Alton. So it's a very famous TikTok cookie store.
Okay.
And they only do a limited amount of cookies every day. Like when you go, there's only like 6 or 7 flavors available.
That's always it, right? They have this crazy demand thing,
but
right?
they're TikTok famous crumble cookies.
What makes it so special?
They're these big, large, like half the size of your face. Like the cookie's big.
Yeah.
And then they put all kinds of crazy stuff. Like this week, the cookies were a dulce de leche cookie with all kinds of yummy like caramel and icing on top. Rocco got this cotton candy cookie with like icing and sprinkles and cotton candy, and there's a chocolate chip this week as well. There's a pink sugar this week.
Okay.
There's a mango yogurt cookie this week.
Have you had their chocolate chip cookie?
I have, and it's good. I also had their chocolate chip potato chip cookie.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh, that was really good.
Who has created the best chocolate chip cookie you've ever had? Who does the absolute best? If you're going out to celebrate National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day, where would you go for it? Now, we're asking this on the KVJ Show Facebook page about where people would go, and tell me if any of these jump off the page to you. Somebody said Great American Chocolate Chip Cookie in the Wellington Mall.
Yeah, I mean, if they have the name chocolate chip cookie in their name, they better be bringing it.
I think it's Great American, and then they have a chocolate chip. Well, yeah, I think it's the one they have. They have a Mariah Carey chocolate chunk.
Ooh.
Homemade in Toll House. They're saying they make the absolute best. I don't think I've been there. I have not had that or tried that one. So I can't speak if that one. I used to make my own back in the day, but I also used to love a whole bunch of other ones as well. Subway has always had really good chocolate chip cookies.
Subway's always had great cookies.
Yeah, and to me, you want it soft, chewy. You want big chunks of chocolate in there. That's how you do it. Nicola said Mrs. Fields. Chocolate chip cookies, the absolute best.
Mrs. Fields are good.
Okay. That's right now got the most votes. Other people were saying Famous Amos. Are they still around?
Yeah, I think they are.
They still do those? Okay.
I would encourage everybody to go try that new crumble cookie.
Yeah, if somebody's tried it, let me know.
They bring the chocolate chip cookie heat.
I mean, is it really that good, or is it just a bunch of TikTok hype?
It's both.
Yeah.
I love
I'm
the
a
hype.
suspect.
You know I love hype.
Mm-hmm. Somebody else saying CR Chicks chocolate chip cookies. That comes in from Shelby.
Yes, they have a great cookie.
She said those are the best. Now, the Daily Meal, they said they went and tasted them all, and they've got the definite best list of chocolate chip cookies. Have you seen that one cookie? It is called the Complete Cookie. In fact, I got into it. The last chocolate chip cookies I really ate, they're kind of like protein cookies, but you see them all over the place. They're always in gas stations now. It's from Lenny and Larry's. They got the crazy hair on there.
Yeah.
The Complete Cookie.
Yeah, the Complete Cookie. They actually put that at number 25.
It's very good.
It is actually really good, yeah. And it tasted too good, I stopped eating it. I'm like, there's no way
it tastes too good to be healthy.
Yeah. I'm like, you think you're eating healthy, Kev? You're just not.
You ain't tricking keto, Kev.
No, I'm like, anything that just I enjoy too much, I'm like, stop it.
Stop having pleasure.
Yes. What are you doing? When you eat, if you're happy, it's a bad thing. Don't go for that. Some of the other ones that they put on the list, they got the Famous Amos, they dropped all the way down at 20. They're not a big fan of those. Chips Ahoy, they put at 18. Have you ever had the Entenmann's? Their milk chocolate chip cookies?
I haven't.
Yes, I've had the mini ones.
Yes, that's what they are. I thought those were great. They have them down at 13, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weak. Trader Joe's, they put it at 11. They've got the Pepperidge Farm Nantucket Dark Chocolate. Those are getting a lot of love. They're right at like number 10 on the daily meals list. They put the Keebler Chips Deluxe in there. They put in...
Keebler higher than the other ones?
Yeah,
Really?
I don't know if I feel that either. Yeah, they've got Tate's is getting a lot of love at number 4. They've got One Smart Cookie, whatever that is, at 2. And then they put at number 1, the Pepperidge Farm Farmhouse Dark Chocolate Chip.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's what they put as the absolute best. Some other ones that people are dropping in here. Don't forget about Doubletree Hotel. They've got great chocolate chip cookies.
You just got to go in there and pretend like you're staying.
Yeah,
Which
right.
I've done that before. There's a Doubletree. I think it's over in West Palm, east of 95. I was going in there just looking for a bathroom for Rocco, and they thought that we were staying there, and they brought out the cookies, and I wasn't going to tell them that we weren't staying. So Rocco pooped in their lobby, and I took 2 cookies, and we said, peace.
Peace.
If they think you're staying there, they just offer you the cookies. It's not my
That's great.
fault.
Yeah.
I never said I was staying
I
there.
didn't lie. Somebody loves Panera's cookies. They say go for that. And somebody else said Chick-fil-A. If you're looking for National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day, that's where you need to be going with it. So there you go. If you got a favorite, go and enjoy a little snack today. We all could use a little snack. All right, Bird has got himself a little wicked case of the COVID. So he is not with us until he can get better with that. So he's going to be a while before he's going to be back in studio, but hopefully we'll get him back as soon as he feels up to it on the line. So until we get to that, we got Denny's, his compadre, his sidekick, standing here to do our thought for the day.
All right, guys. If you want to wake up every morning with determination, you have to go to bed every night with satisfaction.
Oh,
Okay, satisfaction,
hey now.
determination.
It's kind of
Wisdom.
sexy.
Wisdom.
Yeah, and sexiness. That's what you get with Denny's. Wisdom and sexiness.
The KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.